Have you ever thought of Japan as a place where you could go for a budget-friendly shopping spree or a luxury vacation for a fraction of the usual cost? For decades, Japan was known as one of the most expensive places on Earth, but recently, something has changed. Today, Japan is being described as a nation at the pinnacle of technology and social stability that has effectively been placed on a clearance sale. While it remains a high-tech superpower, the world's fourth-largest economy has undergone a radical transformation into the world's premier playground for luxury experiences at bargain prices. Would you like to visit Japan? Let's talk about costs and possibilities. From high-tech giant to bargain hunter's dream, we're analyzing the seismic economic shift currently reshaping Japan. Join us as we explore the mechanics behind the yen's historic lows and its massive impact on tourist purchasing power. Why high-end luxury and fine dining now cost significantly less in Japan than in other global hubs. How dual pricing and surging visitor numbers are creating a new reality for travelers and locals alike. The main reason for this shift is the historic weakness of the Japanese yen. In late 2024 and early 2025, the yen hit 34-year and even 37-year lows against the US dollar. To put that in perspective, while one US dollar used to get you around 100 or 110 yen a few years ago, it recently hovered around 155 to 160 yen. This currency collapse has essentially given international travelers a 30% off coupon for almost everything in the country. But why is the currency so weak when Japan's top companies are making record profits? It mostly comes down to interest rates. While the US Federal Reserve raised rates aggressively to fight inflation, the Bank of Japan kept theirs extremely low, near zero, for a long time to fight off deflation. This created a massive gap where investors could borrow money cheaply in yen to buy assets in dollars or euros, which constantly pushed the yen's value down. For anyone visiting from abroad, this means your money suddenly stretches much further than it ever has before. This has created what experts call retail arbitrage, which is just a fancy way of saying that things that should be expensive are now surprisingly cheap in Japan. Take luxury fashion as an example. For a long time, the rule was that luxury goods like handbags were cheapest in Paris or Milan. But as of late 2025, that rule has been broken. Handbags from major brands like Dior were actually found to be 2 to 5% cheaper in Japan than in France when adjusted for exchange rates. Other brands like Chanel were found to be up to 12% cheaper in Japan than in Paris. Even a Tiffany gold cuff or a high-end watch can be over $1,000 cheaper in Tokyo than in New York. It's not just the exchange rate making shopping a deal, it's also Japan's tax-free system. While in Europe, you often have to wait weeks for a tax refund, many Japanese department stores and electronic shops give you the 10% consumption tax refund instantly at the counter. If you spend a few $1,000s on a watch or a designer bag, you could walk out with an extra few $100s in your pocket immediately. This has turned cities like Tokyo and Osaka into new global hubs for luxury shopping. The same value applies to where you stay. High-end hospitality in Japan is having a massive boom, but it still offers incredible value compared to other global cities. Luxury hotel brands like Aman, Four Seasons, and Ritz-Carlton are focusing on precision and craftsmanship over sheer size. While hotel rates in yen have reached historic highs, the cost in US dollars remains competitive. For example, a night at the Aman Tokyo might cost around $1,900, which is still often 20% cheaper than a comparable suite in New York or Paris, where prices have surged past $2,500. Even standard 5-star hotels like the Peninsula or Four Seasons Otemachi can be 30 to 35% cheaper than their equivalents in London or New York. If you are looking for a more modest stay, the deals are even better. Basic business hotels that are clean, private, and conveniently located near train stations can start at less than $50 a night. This makes Japan a total bargain for budget-oriented travelers who want quality without a high price tag. The superpower playground doesn't stop at hotels, it extends to the dining table. Tokyo has held the title of the world's most Michelin-starred city for nearly 20 years. Because the currency is weak and the local market is competitive, world-class fine dining is now more accessible in Japan than in almost any other developed country. A dinner tasting menu at a 2- or 3-star Michelin restaurant in Japan averages around $322, which is roughly 20 to 30% lower than similar meals in Denmark or Singapore. Even more incredible are the 1-star restaurants that offer lunch menus for $50 to $100, a price point that practically doesn't exist for Michelin-level food in London or New York. This affordability has led to a massive surge in tourism. In 2024, Japan welcomed a record 36.9 million international visitors. Tourism has now become Japan's second largest export industry, trailing only behind the automotive sector. While many of these visitors come from nearby places like South Korea and Taiwan, the luxury boom is being fueled by high-spending travelers from the US, Australia, and the Middle East. In fact, the luxury traveler segment, defined as people who spend at least 1 million yen per trip, grew by over 80% recently. One of the hottest spots for this high-end growth is Niseko on the northern island of Hokkaido. Often called the Aspen of Asia, Niseko has transformed from a local ski hill into a year-round luxury resort destination. Investors are flocking there because the snow is world-famous and considered more resistant to climate change than many European resorts. Even though construction costs in Niseko have skyrocketed due to labor shortages, it still offers a cost advantage compared to elite markets like Aspen or Vail. Major international brands like Aman and Capella are building residences there, attracting ultra-high net worth investors who want a crisis retreat or a second home in a safe, stable country. However, this luxury discount status isn't without its problems. Japan is currently struggling with what many call overtourism. In popular spots like Kyoto, Tokyo, and Osaka, overcrowding has become a serious issue. Locals are finding it harder to use public transportation or visit their favorite restaurants because they are packed with tourists carrying large luggage. In Kyoto's Gion district, frustration over tourists harassing geisha led to the closure of private streets and fines for unauthorized photography. To deal with this, Japan is beginning to implement what many call dual pricing. This means that foreign tourists might soon have to pay higher fees than local residents at certain attractions. For example, the new Junglia theme park in Okinawa charges tourists about 27% more for a one-day pass than it charges local residents. Himeji Castle is considering raising its entry fee for non-residents from 1,000 yen to 2,500 yen. Even some ski resorts in Hokkaido and sacred shrines are looking at tiered pricing. The goal is to ensure that residents aren't priced out of their own neighborhoods, and to generate money for maintaining infrastructure strained by millions of visitors. Kyoto is also leading the way by introducing a new higher lodging tax in March 2026 for luxury hotels and traditional inns that charge more than 100,000 yen a night. The city plans to use this money to improve roads and bridges and protect historical districts. For travelers who value culture and quiet, this could actually be good news, as it helps preserve the magical, authentic version of Japan that people travel so far to see. Despite these new fees and the potential for the yen to strengthen in 2026, experts believe Japan's appeal will remain strong. The country is now marketing hidden gems in regions like Fukui and Nagano to spread tourism dollars beyond the crowded golden route of Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. New infrastructure, like the Shinkansen bullet train extension to Kuchan and upgraded airport terminals for private jets, are being built to support this growth. So, is Japan still the cheapest luxury destination? For now, the answer is a resounding yes. It remains a high-tech sanctuary where the past and future meet at a significant discount. Whether you're hunting for a deal on a designer bag, looking for a world-class meal for the price of a casual dinner back home, or wanting to stay in some of the world's best hotels for less, Japan is offering a rare window of opportunity. But as the country balances this boom with the needs of its residents, the clearance sale might look a little different in the years to come. If you're planning a trip, the advice from the experts is to explore the lesser-known areas where the pressure of over-tourism hasn't hit yet. Japan is full of unique attractions everywhere you look, and with its world-class train system, getting off the beaten path is easier than you think. It's a generational story in the making, and for those who visit with care and insight, it's a chance to be part of a new golden age for refined travel.